Unexpected Clive doubleheader. Well, as I was going to court this morning, because I've got a jarb, my phone was blowing up. So, Hondane's a Star Wars story, permanently banished from ArchieLuxury until someone comes up with like $100 or $200, can't remember which. And other people are calling me, telling me about Rolex announcing new models on their site. Now, before we go into that, let's talk about that real quick. So they're introducing it on their site really before Baselworld, what the fuck ever world, officially starts. And I'm kind of actually reminded about Apple Computer there, because for the longest time, oh, by the way, still wearing the Eternamatic. I'm not going to do the patina song because it really doesn't deserve it. Anyway, Apple for the longest time had product releases at the main keynote at Macworld, a main exposition of Mac lovers and Mac enthusiasts, and they have Mac IT people doing stuff, and designers and app people. They'd all get together and congregate and celebrate their love of the Macintosh and Macintosh applications and programs and peripherals and so forth and so on. And eventually, Apple broke away from Macworld. And the reason why is they decided they were too big and too important for Macworld. Also, they didn't want their release schedule being tied to the exposition, because that means that Macworld would control when Apple could release products. And I kind of wonder if Rolex is going in that direction. I've seen estimates showing that distributor positions, basically they're having to rent out a substantial portion less than they have in years past. So I kind of wonder if this is Rolex's signal of telling Baselworld, you know, it's been fun, guys, but we really don't need you anymore. We'll see. I don't think they'll do it drastically, but I think it's almost a signal. Anyway, so for all this time, everyone is aware that I'm the idiot who threw the hissy fit last month at the authorized dealer and said, up yours, I'm walking away from the Batman because you didn't tell me that you're going to strip the stickers off, and I want my stickers. Hashtag Rolex sticker shock. And you would not believe how many times, I swear to God, if I had a nickel for every time someone said in line, on the phone, on text, Facebook, or YouTube, you screwed up, man, you should have bought that Batman, I'd be able to buy the Batman. So, imagine my shock and surprise when Rolex announces Pepsi. Pepsi, new movement, new bracelet. Now I've looked on the site, and so far, it looks like they've got 3 GMT models. So, and at first I was concerned that Batman was going to be given the heave-ho, but it's still on the site. Go take a look. So when Batman started showing up after incredible scarcity here in the flyover states, it was one of two things. It's just like either they're clearing it, either they've turned the tap back on, they started producing it, or they were clearing out the supply channel. And I was actually kind of thinking, if it's discontinued after 5 years. But, then again, you wonder, well, Rolex would be nuts to discontinue a hot watch like that. But then again, Rolex going to do what Rolex going to do. But Pepsi changes everything. So I do have a GMT regret, but it's not what you think. My regret is, well, let's talk about it. Anyway, it's got the new Jubilee bracelet, nice and solid, nice and comfortable. It kind of harkens back to how a lot of GMTs came back in the day. It's got of course the ceramic Pepsi bezel. And by the way, I called it because they were cutting their teeth learning how to make that new color on the precious metal side, on the white gold one, which is something that Rolex does have a tendency to do. Let's try it out in small numbers. If we can perfect it, if we can get the process on small numbers, eventually we'll ramp it up and be able to do larger numbers of it. You wouldn't believe how many people said, oh, they're not going to devalue the white gold one like that. They released this. Well, okay. Rolex probably took a look at how many white gold Pepsis it was selling and calculated how many stainless steel Pepsis it could make and how much they'd make. So, off those. And I want to give everyone the middle finger extended dance, but I'm not, because I got class and shit like that. Anyway, not only is that, it's got the new movement. It's got the new movement that was introduced with the day date and the date just, and then the Red Sea Dweller last year. Now they've got a variation with the GMT for the Pepsi. Batman and Black Ceramic are still on the website, still with the old movements, and actually the Pepsi's not that much more. So, Hondanes would care, probably not many other people. But, more efficient, more power reserve, more this, more that, less maintenance, better movement, new movement. But, Batman's still carrying on, but with an older movement. Yeah. I'm so happy I didn't get Batman. My one regret, though, is now Pepsi, everyone's going to kill themselves to get the Pepsi. And you know they are. Moreover, I think a lot of Batman owners might just start looking down at the Batman on the wrist that they've had for 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. And but I kind of think you might see some, I wouldn't be surprised if you see some people dumping their Batmans and trying to get on the Pepsi list. So, yeah. Again, Rolex knows what they're doing. That's why I try to avoid the Rolex Fonzie scheme. If you wanted a Batman, you want the Batman more than anything else, have some patience and wait for the Pepsi to be released. You'll see demand for the. You'll see people, there's God knows how many people are calling up their authorized dealers right now. It's like, take me off the Batman list, put me on the Pepsi list. Batman, no. Pepsi, yes. Got that? Good. And also, with a little bit of patience, they're going to make the Pepsi for a few more years. They've been making the Batman for 5. They'll make the Pepsi for at least that much. A little patience will pay off. My one regret is that last year for $600 or $6,500, I could have got a Pepsi vintage in Arlington at the National Association of Watch and Clock Collectors. I have to say that acronym out loud, spelled out very slowly or carefully, or it's really embarrassing. Anyway, my one regret is that I didn't get that. And as people are clamoring, killing themselves to try to get the Pepsi, I have to admit the Pepsi is pretty badass. The vintage ones are going to, you think they were hot before? God bless it, you'll be able to light your cigarettes and cigars off them now. That's how hot they're going to get. Anyway, and then I'm also hearing about the new deep sea, blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, I'll let other more well-established, more competent nerds handle that, but hashtag no regrets. Anyway, have a good one, and hopefully see you in the live stream.